Hello, good morning, and welcome to another playthrough. This is going to be my second playthrough here on this channel. And as you can see, we are in experimental mode. And today, being January 12th, there was actually an update to the game. A couple things were added, a couple of the wording was changed, and there was a new map. So I figured, might as well do that new map. So what we're going to do here, I think we're going to do folk tales. And the reason that you don't see the other three beaver factions that I normally have, well, that's because there was an update to the game, like I mentioned, and mods no longer work. So the only mods I've been able to get going are mod settings and good statistics, which, if you are unfamiliar, it is the mod that was in my last playthrough that had like the arrows showing, green for up, red for down. Basically just shows, like, for carrots, for example, what the trend is if I'm increasing in storage or decreasing in storage. So that's what that is. So what I think we're gonna do, folktales, and then the Spillage map. That's the new one. That came out today. So we'll do this one. And what I think I want to do, let's do hard mode. Because even hard mode is going to be super easy compared to Greedy Armageddon that we just did. So building refund rate, of course, set back to 100%. And what I think I'd like to do, I think maybe we set, let's do 5 to 7 days. And then maybe we'll do 20 to 35. There we go. And then bad tide duration is 20 to 35. There we go. Just to make it a little bit more difficult for us. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. All right, let's get going. All right, so because this map is called Spillage, I felt it fitting that we call this playthrough the Overflow, if I can spell it correctly. Hold on. Overflow Outpost. All right. So I'm going to immediately pause the game here. I'm also going to go into dev mode super quick. I'm going to turn off the fog because it looks so much better. And then enable camera free mode because that's going to give us the ability to come all the way out because I think this looks a little bit better. Also, so in today's update, I found out, I guess only one thing, well, a couple of things necessarily. So if a beaver dies of hunger, it no longer says died of hunger. It says starved to death. So that's pretty cool. Don't ask me how I figured that out. Also, normally if you hold down the Alt button on Windows and use your scroll wheel, you can scroll up and down to see all the layers. However, holding the Alt button, you can see my cursor turns into the layer icon that we normally see up here in the top right. So what I'm going to do is hold the Alt button, turns the cursor into that icon, and then I'm going to move the mouse up and down. So now it's no longer the scroll wheel. Well, I guess it still kind of is, but they've added this mechanic where just holding the Alt button and moving the mouse up and down changes the layers, which I think is so cool. It was definitely something to get used to. But I think I'm good with it now. So, all right, so let's get into it. One thing I did notice with this map, I was playing around with it a little bit earlier on a previous playthrough. I've just kind of started a new one just to see how everything went, left it running for a couple cycles to see which of the unstable cores would blow up first. And so I do know which ones will blow up at around what time they blow up. So this is going to be fun. One thing I did also find out. Let's see. I'm gonna hold the Alt button and move the mouse down. There are no aquifers on this map. So the only way to get good water, clean water, um, is through a water seep, which is another thing. There's no aquifers, like I mentioned, nor is there any water sources. There are only seeps and the new bad tide drains. Um, so yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. There is, however, the satellite relic, which I think is the biggest relic in the game. As you can see, it grants 3,000 science. Um, so yeah, I think this is the most that there is, because of course there is the little, let's see, these little kind of looks like a telescope sort of thing. These 200, and I think there's one more. Yeah, this one satellite is 800. I don't think there's anything larger than 800 other than the satellite. I think it's just 800 and 300. If there is, then I haven't seen whatever it is. This map also is not covered in thorns, which is absolutely fantastic because I've been screwing around with a map. I think it's called Timberpunk 2.0. The entire map is pretty much covered in thorns. You start out, there's no good water sources. The only thing that you have access to is an ancient aquifer, which of course you have to power. So that map has been pretty fun. I was going to do a series on that one, but then I actually found out that somebody else had made one with that map, and I didn't feel like copying someone because I was also intending to do Iron Teeth. It just didn't feel right. So yeah, and then this map came out today, and I was like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I didn't do that one. I failed to publish a video on Monday, as I normally do. So yeah, I figured might as well just start with this one. So yeah, after all that, you know what? Let's just get started here. So, of course, as I mentioned before, none of the mods work. So this is a completely vanilla playthrough. Which is crazy because I haven't played a completely vanilla playthrough in so long, especially one without ladders. So this is going to be fun for me. Very very interesting to say the least. So I'm excited. But yeah, let's just get going here. So I'm just going to build a path all the way around these berries so that they spread, but they spread within the path. Now I do also want to, we'll just connect that right here and then connect that one. Connect to this slope so that we can actually use this geothermal field. Of course, once we unlock it. But I also do want to get down here to get these trees, as well as I want to put in a fluid dump, just like this, so that we can actually use this area for farming, or forestry rather, because this really isn't a lot. And little spoiler alert, this unstable core goes off first. So this bad water seep pretty much just floods our whole colony. So yeah, don't ask me how I know how all of that happens. But anyways, yeah, I definitely did not contaminate my entire colony because I hadn't moved out of this area yet. Anyways, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna quit giving spoilers now. So I'm just gonna get a gatherer flag in here, and what I want to do also, I want to get going with a grill. So I'm just gonna put in a grill. Also gonna need, let's see, what, 4 houses, I think, right? Because each one is 3 and we've got 12. So yes, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna set this to potatoes. Now I'm also gonna get a efficient farmhouse going in here. And then what I also want to do is just put in a path right here. So that hopefully these pine trees spread just a little bit. Because there is a couple open spaces in here that they could definitely repopulate. So we'll let them do that, hopefully. I do also want to get this connected because I also want to put in our lumberjack flags. So let's see, what's a good spot? This probably is, yeah. So we'll do those two like that. And then we're also going to need a water pump. So we'll just do one for now. But I think we'll put in a second one right there, and let's just pause it, right? Okay, so then I do also want to just move that path there. We'll give the berries a little bit more space, but then also so I don't have to put individual paths for each of the water pumps. So I do also want to set this to demolish. But other than that, I think let's just get it going here, right? So I'm going to pause this grill just for now, and then increase the builders in the district center to 4. There we go. So now we can have as many beavers as possible building. I'm going to set these 2 squares just in case they populate. All right, so now that we have that 200 science, what I'm going to do is unlock levees, because I want to get this in here as quickly as possible. Because of course these are blockages, so I can't just have one level here. It has to be 2. Yeah, so that it goes over the blockages, or if it goes up this level, it can go this way or this way. And then, well, I guess it both goes the same way. Anyways, yeah, found that out, that I can't just have one level of those. I thought these were natural dams, because they look largely the same. You can kind of see these are natural dams. And then the blockages, they look somewhat similar enough that without actually clicking on them, I didn't think that they were blockages. And then proceeded to find out the hard way. So there's that. I do also want to set this to the highest priority because housing really isn't a priority at the moment, but food absolutely is. And then water as well. This one I want highest priority. And then what we can do in these spaces right here, let's set some water tanks. There we go. And what we can do here, let's see. If I set this one to water and delete this one, I know it was kind of more clicks than what it needed to be. But anyways, the duplicate button, which is new in 1.0. I know that 1.0 has been out for probably like a month or so now. But I really just started playing it maybe a week or so ago. So this is still cool to me. But anyways, so maybe we get this path connected here as well. Yeah. Okay, and then let's see, what can we do here? So I want to have, I think we'll do 2 rows of potatoes, just so that we can get them, we can get sort of a stock, I guess. And then let's see, we'll do the rest carrots. There we go. And then I'm actually just gonna set this down to 2 beavers because I don't think this is enough to have all 3 beavers. Truthfully, I don't think it's enough to have 2, but it's fine. It's fine. This does need to get going here quickly because I don't want to be losing beavers, which thankfully we haven't yet. So, all right, there we go. Now we've got water. Fantastic. Okay, so let's see. What else can we get going here? We're going to need a... Let's see. Do we have enough science to unlock this? Yes, we do. All right, so let's get a forester unlocked, and let's see if we can find a spot for him that's going to reach the whole thing. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, because we can't get... Well, maybe. Probably not. I'm thinking, like I mentioned with the fluid dump here, if this is going to irrigate this area, but I think it's too high for this to travel. So Probably not. Okay, so we'll go without that. That's fine. I do also want to set this up to 18 working hours. Let's see. You need to work more. There we go. Now we've got at least one water storage, thankfully. Let's see, 96%. Should be more like 100, but hey. Our well-being is going up, even though it's a negative number. It was -8. Now it's 3. Perfect. All right, so I do also want to get a couple food storages going. Let's see. So we can probably do... Actually, you know what? I'm glad I didn't put this grill in yet. So we'll do that. Let's see if we can do potatoes here. Potatoes. And then what we'll do is put the grill on top of it. I think that's going to be a lot better. Right, and then grilled potatoes. All right, yeah, I think that's a sufficient use of space. All right, so I do want to keep a way here, but at the same time, we can probably just have platforms and everything bring this up, and then maybe over into this area. I think this might be a good area for industry. So, let's see. How much space do I have? This is 3 wide. So maybe what we do... Because I'm really not going to need to get down here other than to put in the thermal engine and a power shaft, probably. Or I could do something like that, and then it just connects automatically. But you know what? We'll just do it here, I think. Yeah, let's do it here. Yeah, for now. For now. And then, of course, we'll need a way to power it. So we'll do like that, just for now. There we go. Okay, so I think I might pause this grill here. Oh, and we've already got a drought. And we're up to well-being 4, even though we're not. Beavers are happier than ever. Fantastic. They are still hungry, though. Yeah, that's not very fun. So, yeah. Okay, well, that's fine. I am going to pause this grill, though, because there's no point in really having anybody in there because we don't have any potatoes, of course. So let's see. We are going to need maybe a little storage for logs and... You know what? I can pause you, too. How about that? Let's get this pump in here as well. Since we've got so many extra beavers, we might as well just... Yeah, that's not very good, although these are at 95%. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we're going down because of hunger, which is fine because, like I said, these carrots are at 95%, so they should be done growing momentarily. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to set this to harvest for now. Just so they don't spend any time replanting. I'd rather get all of these beavers fed so that our well-being goes back up, which it just did. Fantastic. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so now that everybody's eaten, maybe except for 1 or 2, I think now it's safe to set back to planting. I wish I could have one beaver do one thing and one beaver do another, but that's a song for another time. Maybe that'll be an update too. We'll see. All right, so building lacks power. That means our lumber mill is done. Perfect. All right, and what I think I'm going to do here is just put in birch trees. I know that they're not very resource dense, but it's fine. I think it's just going to be best that we have as much wood coming in as possible. That kind of sounded bad, but it's fine. Let's see. So I think we'll actually put in a couple more potatoes here. Might as well. And then how many planks do we need here? 7. And you can hold 13. Fantastic. Okay, so we're waiting on nothing. Fantastic. So we should have our 7 planks, hopefully shortly. New well-being, high scores 5. I kind of sort of miss having the larger one, but the big green box. That was the thumbnail for the finale of Greedy Armageddon. So if you didn't watch that series, go watch that series. That was a 200-day drought and bad tide, just all sorts of chaos. Especially in the beginning, that was just that was bad. Just go watch it. And if you do watch it, come back to this video and tell me what you think about the power generator that I built, maybe in like episode 20 something, early 20s or so. That big honking thing, you know. Tell me what you thought about that. But anyways, in this playthrough, let's see. Let's get somebody back here in the gatherer flag, which maybe it's time to remove a couple beavers from the district center. We'll do that. Just so we can collect these berries. I don't really want to keep berries sitting here for very long. Can we actually plant any more? We can. We can reach this whole thing. So you know what? Let's do that. Let's just set this whole thing to be berries. And then what I'm going to do is prioritize berries so that these just get growing in there. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in waiting. Let's see. So I do also want to start increasing our population. So let's do that. Let's see. Should we put them over here maybe? Maybe we do. Maybe we do put them over here. Right, so that we can use this this farm space. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is move this path. We'll do something like this. Right, let's see. So then we can do housing. We'll just do the smallest one. So we'll do that. And then if we flip this around, that's gonna go perfectly in there. And then just to space things out, yeah, perfect. We still have that one space there at the end. So that's going to come across here and then down there. So what I think we can do here, I know we're going to need a tooth grindstone. So we'll put one of these here. And then maybe in this area we can do medical beds. Of course, we don't have science for that. Let's see. Oop, pause the game there. Didn't mean to do that. Then we can do benches. We can definitely do some hammocks. Those are fun. And then shrubs, probably. You know what? We can do shrubs now. Let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. All right. Okay. And then we've got 3 spaces in between, I think. Yeah. So we can do 3 of one thing, 2 of one thing, and 1 other of one thing. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Storages. Oh, boy. Okay, so he's just running, and there's nobody using his power. All right, so let's see. Let's get 2 large piles here. This is going to be for planks, and this can be for logs. There we go. Right, because we've only got the 40 storage that are in the lumberjack flags there. So, yeah, those definitely need to... We definitely need to have some storage for that. All right, so let's see. Let's get some birch trees back in here. Right. And then maybe back here we'll fit in some oak trees, I think. Yeah, well, maybe let's just do that whole thing, and then we'll just continue that on once those trees are cut down. Let's see. Let's get in... Fill those in. Fill all of these in here. Okay, so while they're doing all this, I think we might have some time to explore the map. So yeah, let's see. So there's bad tide drains pretty much on every seep. As of course I'm proven wrong with the seep that I'm looking at. So these bad tide drains, right? So here's a seep, here's some bad tide drains. So what I want to do with these two sets and this third set of seeps, what I want to do is preferably with dirt, though I know that we are very far away from dirt. Um, so what I would like to do is kind of sort of build something that like brings the floor up here. Um, and then what I want to do is kind of sort of build a channel up here, to where it just feeds into what this seep um, is filling here, because that means all we'd then have to do is block this off, and let's see, we'll block this off, right? So then with those blocked, the water level is going to rise, and then it's going to go off the map. Instead of flooding this area and flooding this area, coming all down here and directly into our colony. Ask me how I know that happens. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Anyways, so let's see. Finishing getting those oak trees in there. I think we need some more birch trees here as well. Perfect. And looks like we've got 5, 6 kits. So all of our beds are full now. And we do already have, oh, unstaffed building. That's a new change. So instead of saying, oh, what did it used to say? Unemployed, I think. No. Oh, wow. I can't believe I've forgotten what that says. I promise I've got 2,242.3 hours in this game. I promise. I promise. I've just now completely forgotten what that used to say instead of unstaffed. Oh, that's really funny. Okay. Anyways, so we don't really need these anymore, so I'm just gonna pause them. Because we've got 28. I think that's plenty. But anyways, I brought the attention over to the bottom left corner because I wanted to point out this bad water seep. This bad water seep. Let's see, we've got 9 days to get in there, and I would really like to get all this science. So let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to need stairs, which are 70. Okay, so that means I need to build an inventor hut. So let's do that. You know what? Let's do that over here. We'll do that on that side. That's fine. Okay. And, of course, now another beaver died of old age. So we don't have anybody to work in there. Okay. And you know what we should have done? Oh, built a storage for carrots and one for berries, which of course I did not do. So let's do that. Let's put them here. So let's bring this right along here. This is going to be for, this will be for carrots. This can be for berries. There we go. Building lacks workers. That's what that used to say instead of unstaffed. Wow, that just came to me. All right, so let's see what else we can do here. So with Greedy Armageddon, I kind of had an initial playthrough that I did with those settings just to get a feel for the map and everything. But for this one, since it came out, 12 hours ago as of recording-ish, give or take, I haven't had time to do that. So I really have no idea what we can do with this map. So everything that we do really, is a surprise for you as much as it is for me. So there's that. Let's see. So we definitely need stairs. Which of course we don't have the science for because we don't have a beaver for it. Let's see. So, oh, now we do. And we're only lacking, what, 19? 18. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, guys, just going to do something like that, which I never do. I normally never do this. Oh, wow, I literally just said that we were missing science and then proceeded to click on the button. Anyways, so yeah, let's get over here. Let's see. Let's get in a couple more of these, and then I want to get this this relic if we can. So let's see. This is gonna come straight across here. Straight across here. This is too high. So this is gonna have to be like that. And then we'll have stairs coming down here. So let's see if we can do... Yeah, that's the right spot. There we go. 2 more, 1 more, and 70. Perfect. Okay, so there's that. Then we'll get the rest of this in here. There we go. And then bring this across. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 times 5 planks is 20, and we've got 28. Fantastic. Okay, we do also now have 2 unemployed beavers. So let's get some back in here. I do want to build sort of a stockpile for now of planks, just so that we can maybe, hopefully, by the time we get, 400 science? Oh, 160. Where did I get 400 from? Oh boy. Okay, anyways, hopefully by the time we have enough science to unlock the geothermal engine, we can also have enough materials to build the medium tank. Because to my knowledge, this water seep, even though it's a good water seep versus, you know, the bad water seep, should still produce bad water. And if I'm wrong, I'm, you know, inclined not to find out the difficult way. So what I would also like to have is maybe something like this with a floodgate on one corner or one portion here. So that's going to be another, where am I? Another 150 science. So yeah, maybe something like this. And then of course just get it replaced with a sluice gate as quickly as possible, because I will forget to change that floodgate back and forth. So yeah, we're gonna do that. This is also gonna be highest priority because I don't want to get rid of this. Well, I do want to get rid of this. I just don't want to have any contaminated beavers, although we've got 4 days and this is going fairly quickly. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Let's also get these guys coming over here to get these done. Yeah, and so that gives us now access to some scrap metal, which is fantastic, even though we are nowhere near producing gears or anything else that is required with the smelter, or for the smelter. Yeah, I mean, we've got nowhere near 50 planks, although I guess we've got half, but then again, we're also sort of -7 because this takes 30. Yeah, anyways. All right, so unconnected building is all of those. I hate this. I hate doing this so much. If I had... Whoa, we've got 850 science now. Wait a second. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay, so let's just get the geothermal unlocked. We'll do the regular platform, and let's get those 2 beavers back in here. Oh boy, okay, all right, so I didn't prioritize those, but I want to. And you know what? Now that I've, you know, maybe we can unlock these, right? That's 550 science. We have that. Though, we do also need the gear workshop, which is only 100. Yeah, we're going to do this. Okay, so let's see. How do I want to do this here? I might end up moving this, even though I was so proud of how that went in. You know what? Now that we've got planks, maybe we can do... Oh, the spiral stairs take treated planks. Okay, well, there goes that. I was kind of thinking that we could put in the spiral stairs here and then just, like, flip the door to the house around. But this is not an Ember Pelts, which I was playing, which the Spiral Stairs is regular planks, not treated planks. So, yeah. All right, but anyways, I do need to finish putting in the oak trees here, so we'll do that. And you know what? Let's just put oak trees here. Let's. I do want to end up filling these into oak trees, anyways. I just didn't want to start with oak trees just because they take so long to get grown, to grow up. Thank you, English. That it definitely would have been a hard lock for us since we're so early in the game. It just would not have been worth it. So yeah, All right, but anyways, let's do that. Delete that path because it was kind of bothering me. And now we've got no logs. So you know what? Oh, we absolutely have to have a beaver working in here. So what we can do, you are sitting on your bum doing nothing. So you can go work in the forester. Yeah. And we really haven't built up any sort of stock for carrots. So maybe I might be inclined to change this over to maybe blueberries. Just because we're 2/3 of the way full. Or wait. Yeah, 2-ish thirds. We're very clearly producing more blueberries than we are of carrots. But what I do want to do now, delete all of these paths, get all of this collected, and hopefully we can change all of this over to platforms. Although we really don't have to, because this wall is put in. So really, we could just delete all of this, which is absolutely fantastic. Although, no, technically we can't because... Yeah, scrap metal. Okay, so we're going to do this as well. We'll get these in here. We'll put in a platform and then put our staircase back here. Then what we can do, let's do something like this. Yeah, let's do this. That's cool. And then I do want to bring this straight over on both sides if we can. Because this is going to give us access to more of these areas. Because I do want to get these 2 walls put in. And then, of course, once this detonates, we'll have to rebuild this wall as well. And then, like I said, I wanna build a wall over here, so that we can divert these bad water drains or bad tide drains. I do also want to replace this with a platform. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's see. Oh, and those are already done? Jeez. Okay. All right, so we're just going to do all of that and all of this at the same time. And then get all of this put back in here and across. There we go. Okay, and then those need to be replaced. Perfect. And then... once these few things are put in, I think we can move over to this area. Yeah, because I want to get that going. Let's see. You know what? I do think we are going to end up needing to move this just so that we can use this whole area for industry. So you know what? Once this is all done, once they've collected everything here, I think it's going to be worth deleting all of this. So you know what we can do? Let's do something like... I have no idea what like. So I kind of want to have the ability to come back around here, which only gives us 1 space. Okay. So I guess since we technically have the ability to do metal, although that doesn't work. Oh, and we're already in cycle 3? How did I miss these banners? Where was I? What have I been doing? Okay. Oh, and we've got, so here's our 3 unstable cores. Okay, so this is the one. Um, yeah, I'm so glad we got this wall in. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna flow down here, and it's gonna flow either this direction or this direction. And then let's see, the other 2 stable cores are both in the same spot. It's both of these two, right? So that means this relic is gone if we don't collect it within the next 10 days, which I don't think we're going to, since it's what, 800? Yeah, we're good. We're good. Not totally necessary. Um, so yeah, let's see. It's gonna flow off this way and then off that way. That's fine. And then this one is gonna go off this way. Yeah, so we're good. This really is the only one that we needed to worry about. And then of course these 3 bad tide drains. And then we'll cross this bridge when we get there. We can't really put anything else, here. Right? Because like we'd have to build a whole wall here, and I think that's just more levees than I'd really like to put into this at the moment. Because if we can get over here, then yeah, we can pump the bad water out of this, right? I don't think there's any issue with doing that. Especially because we're not really reliant on this pool here at all. Really, we're only reliant on this one. So I think that's fine. Oh, and now that we've got 2 unemployed beavers, we'll get a beaver back in there. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put in a staircase here and then bring a path around here so that they can build all of this. And while they're doing that, I think what we're going to do, yeah, so they've built that. So I no longer have a need for planks. So all of this can go. Let's see. I do, however, want them to collect all of this. So I'm going to high prioritize that because it will not just stay here. A new function of update 1.0 is that rubble disintegrates, and it is a 15-day timer. So it'll disintegrate in 15 days if you don't collect it. But to combat that, what they've done is given the ability for district centers and builders' huts to have a temporary 20 storage of any item that the builders collect. So, like, if my, large pile for logs was full, you could see up to 240 technically, because each of these are 20. But 240 log storage, 220, no, 20, 40. Yes, I can math. 240 log storage because there will be 20 logs in the district center. Now, the only issue that I see that brings is that they then pick it up from here, bring it to the district center, and then from the district center, they have to bring it to the storage. I feel like because they're so close that it would be easier to just bring it from the ground to the storage. But what the hell do I know? So there's that also. So yeah, I feel like it just takes so much more time. But anyways, it's fine. Not up to me. Anyways, so I do want to remove all of that so that we can get that space back. Which means that I totally failed in putting the storage back in here. So what I wanted to do, that's a 4 space. So that doesn't really help me. What I wanted to do here was maybe something like this. Let's see. So we'll do that. We'll put in a platform here, at which point we can put a grill back in here. This is the 3rd time that we've moved this grill. And then put a path back in this one. So let's see. This is going to be for potatoes, and then this will be grilled potatoes. So I want to get this built. And then all of these collected. So Yeah, other than that, I'm really not worried about the grill nor the platform. So you know what? Maybe let's just set the workplace to highest priority, and then they can just build that whenever they want to. It's really not a priority. You know what? Let's just deprioritize that because I want this to get built first. Um, so let's see. I want a lumber mill here. Ideally, we'd have more than one, so maybe we do something like this. And then what we can do is a gear workshop here. Right, so let's do that. Okay. Now, that will hopefully give us the space to do something like this. And then we can have power come along this way. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely what we're going to do. And I think eventually what I'd like to do is have the vertical shafts underneath here so that we can have power routing underneath. Yeah. So that we can have this go straight across. Yeah, I think that's a good, shorter, longer term plan. So yeah. But anyways, we are going to need a power shaft here to bring power across. And then what I also want to put in is a warehouse for gears. So we'll do 2 gears here and here. There we go. All right, so we are waiting for planks, which is fine. And I think we are slowly coming to the point where we are going to need to put in at least pine trees. So you know what? Let's just unplant this entire area, and we'll keep the oak trees there. So let's unplant all of these. Now some of these are gonna spread, and that's fine. No big deal. I do kind of just sort of want to cut most of these down. Let's see. Let's put in a oak tree there, and new well-being high score of 7. Fantastic. And that's because we've got a wet fur bonus, and looks like we've started producing potatoes. Okay. All right. So that happened. Which is fine. That's just well-being bonus. Totally fine. So yeah, let's see. Now that we've got a gear production, let's see. Let's get a medium tank in here. Yeah, which leaves us with just under 600 science, which means we've got metal in the first episode, which is amazing. Okay, so we don't have any unemployed beavers. So I think what I'm going to do is just put in 1. Because we really don't even have the beavers to employ that 1. Although, let's see, technically what I could do, if I lower the priority on the district center, since we're not really building anything right now, I think that's fine to just not have to just have fewer builder beavers, so that we can have science, so that we can have metal, which I think is a good plan. So I do also want to put in 2 storages for scrap metal. Right. And then come down here. Let's see. We've got 180 or so, I think. I promise I can do math. 180 or so extra power, and you take 200. Okay, so not 100%, but that's fine. So yeah, we'll just get going with this here. Let's see, and then bring that over. Right, because then hopefully we'll have 400 science by the time this gets built and starts producing metal. Yeah, so we can get that sluice gate in here. And then, of course, set it to close above contamination. So that's fine. Let's see, let's just get pine trees at least somewhat growing in here, or started growing, because I know this is going to take what, 12 days? So not too terribly long, but better start now than later. So let's see. I do also want to put in piles for metal, and I should probably do at least one for scrap metal. But I don't really see a need at the very moment, so I think that's fine. And then of course this is taking all of our gears, but we are actually producing them. And you are no longer producing because that's a full. So I think we're just gonna pause you. And maybe what we do is we wait until the storage for potatoes is full, and then we can start actually producing or somewhat more relying on grilled potatoes. Because I know potatoes are more, edible food dense than carrots are. Carrots, of course, you can eat raw, whereas the potatoes need to be grilled, of course. But it does look like we need another storage for berries. So I'm going to do that. Let's do right. We'll do there. I think that's fine. Okay. All right. So berries. There we go. Now, I do also want to have our medium tank put in. So maybe what we do is, let's see, 1, 2, we can fit 3 there. Or we can see if we, oh, and there's our unstable core. Now it's all flooding. All right. Yeah, so this is all, it can't flow that way. It's all going to flow down this way. Except, of course, it's not going to flow at all because we're in a drought. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see. Not really. We can still put in some pine trees here. So let's just do that. Okay. There we go. That's fine. And I do think we might need a few more beavers. So let's do that. All right. Let's just do 1 for now, I think. And I was going to prioritize this, but they're doing it anyways. So I'm just going to leave it, and it's already built. Okay, fantastic. So let's see. Now, I don't really want to spend the science that we have on things to make the beavers happier, although I do want to fill this area here. So we've already got a teeth grindstone. We probably could fit a rooftop terrace somewhere because we have stairs. Although technically we don't really have any planks. We've got 1. So maybe we don't use those just yet. Let's see. How many planks? 30 planks. Okay, so maybe we do more of a stockpile on the planks before we worry about happiness. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be the move. Okay, so you know what? I do also want, you know what? Maybe I just unplant all of these, or you know what? Let's just pause the forester for now. Because we've got 50 logs, and what I think we might do, come over here and collect all of these trees that are all of these birch trees, and then all of these pine trees. Yeah. Yeah, because then that's going to give us the ability to actually put our bad water diversion in. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's just bring a path along here. Oh, and of course we don't have any extra beavers. So maybe we do put in another house here. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. And looks like it's almost already built. And there it is. Okay. All right. So we will have some extra beavers here. Hopefully momentarily. Probably not by the end of this episode. But either way, I do still want to put this in. So let's just do there. That's fine. That's fine. And then this path is going to have to kind of snake around here. Yeah. Oh, hey, that job got filled because I have the district center set to less of a priority. Okay, so anyways, let's clean this up here. Is this all? You know what? That's fine. And maybe what we actually do, because I don't really want these trees to spread. Let's just put in more lumberjacks than what we need. So that this gets cut down, preferably sooner rather than later. Oh boy, and looks like we have pumped out all of our water. That's not fun. Okay. All right, so what we can do. You know what? We're going to have to bring a set of stairs down here to get to these pine trees anyways. And then up here as well to get to this relic. So, you know what? Maybe what we do is we just bring... Let's see. Let's bring this path over here. All right, so let's do that. We'll bring this down here. And then I think this is fine. Yeah. Okay, so then we'll just come all the way over here. Okay. And then, of course, we'll need to bring this path up here so that we don't have a set of stairs coming up and then down and then just to come up again over in this area. So, let's see. Let's do something like this. And then we can do maybe a couple here. Right. So, we'll do all that. And then all of this needs to be marked for cutting. So, let's do this. And then we'll do that. Okay. And ideally what I think I'd like to do, either what we could do is lower this little river portion here, and have a sluice here, to regulate the water level down here. Or... since these only provide water up to a depth of 0.8, what we could do is pump it up somewhere else. And then we'd really have to build a reservoir, right? Completely out of levees. And then sort of dump the water in the reservoir, right? Because normally what we do is build a reservoir around like a water source or an aquifer, and then of course with the water source just divert the bad water using sluices, but we don't have that option here because we have no water sources, nor do we have an aquifer, which is just crazy. So yeah, we're just gonna have to either pump and store all of the water or dump it somewhere, which is somewhat insane. So that should be interesting, I think. Yeah, because we completely ran out of water during that drought. So, yeah, that tells me we absolutely need to have more water storage. So let's see. Now that we've got the smelter in, we don't have enough science to put in the sluice. Oh, unfortunate. Okay, so you know what we're gonna do instead? Oh, these are now contaminated. That's not fun, bro. That's not cool at all. Okay, all right, fine. So, man, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pause these two lumberjack flags. I think I'm just gonna wait for this entire area to grow, and then cut them down, and then just replace everything. I think I might just end up putting, oh, that wasn't the one that I wanted to do. I think I might just end up putting in, oak trees in this whole thing. Yeah, I think that might just be the move. Because we're definitely going to have... Oh, we used all of those already? Okay. Okay, so you know what? We're just going to pause these 3 as well. Um... You know what? You know what? No. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to delete these. Right? Because now we have our builders back. Okay. And of course that tree grows in right as I demolished the lumberjacks. But anyways, let's get all of these. Oh, this is a new mechanic as well. So you see the stumps, the leftovers? If I set all of this for demolition, what it's going to do, instead of marking every single stump for demolition, it's just going to get rid of them, which is fantastic. Now the beavers don't have to spend any time demolishing the stumps. They're just gone. It's amazing. It's so much better than what it was before. So much better than update 7. But anyways, let's see. So I do want to get all of these collected. So we'll do that, and then once everything gets collected, I think I'm gonna put in a few more lumberjacks over in this area. Or maybe at least just stop or just delete this one. Actually, let's see. I think we can put in a staircase here and increase your range. Yes. Okay. So yeah, you have nothing to do now, but you will have something to do soon. So just hold out, and we'll come back. Right. Oh, we only have berries. So glad I made that storage a lot bigger. Okay, so let's put in another berry storage. Okay, all right, get that in there. There we go. Okay. And you know what? I think we're going to set this carrot storage to potatoes. Yeah, and then get rid of all of those. I'm not going to demolish them. I think I'm just going to wait for the area to be unplanted, and then we'll replace them with potatoes, because that makes a lot more sense. Let's see. We do have builders, so I want this to get done, because what else are they doing? Because they're not doing that I told them to do. What are they doing? What were the builders doing? Oh, they're still doing this. Really? Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I did also want to bring a path down here. I don't think this is going to reach. Oh, it does. Okay. I'm proven wrong. That's fine. Oh, and we've got another drought approaching. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's just get this whole area marked for cutting. Because I probably want to put some forestry in this area. So we'll see about that. I'm not hard set on it, so it might not happen. I do also somewhat feel the need to block this off now that I've seen it, because I don't want anything flooding into this portion here, which would not be fun. I do really want to get started on all of this, though. Do we have science to unlock the impermeable floor? We do. What do you mean you don't have anything to do in range? Okay, that's fine. Let's see. I do want to come up here and collect this relic, though. So we'll do that and that, because that's going to give us the science that we need to unlock at least the sluice. Right? Because it's 200 plus the 300 is 5. So we'd need to produce 300 science to do both. Or no, we'd need to produce 100 science to do both. My brain hurts. Okay. Let's see. I do think it would be a good idea to start using the space that we have up here. So what I should have done is flip the entrance to that house. So maybe what we do... that's not fun. Okay, so let's see. I do want to do this. so let's just get this guy started down here with a path. So we'll do that. That's fine for now. I do want to set all of this to taters. So that's going to be taters. Taters. Okay, and then come over here. We've got that. Okay, so we'll delete this and collect those. And you are now cutting things, which is fantastic. Okay, so let's see. We need to get over here as well. So if we come, I don't want to come up there. Let's do here since we're already here, right? So we'll do this one and then that. Okay, and then let's bring these across here. Okay. And then another one of these here. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to leave a path here and connect this, because now they can build all of that, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. However, now that I'm seeing it, I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to change that. Let's see. So we do have unemployed beavers. So what I think I want to do, I want to set these to the lowest possible workplace priority, and then I'm just going to put in, let's do 4 total. Okay. Except I want the entrances to be the same way, so we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then workplace priority, of course, is lowest possible. And then construction priority is lowest possible. Also, we've got 2 unstable cores. 2 unstable cores. What is this gonna flood? Nothing. Okay, I'm not worried. That is, however, going to get rid of this relic, which I don't think I have a need for. 800 science at the moment. We've got those. Those are fine. Okay, so, wow, this is a 13-day drought, and we have no water stored. Oh, we have no water stored at all. Oh, panic is setting in. Okay. All right, so I think we've got enough materials to build at least one of these. So I'm going to do this. Set up for water, highest possible building priority. We'll do this. Get those guys going in there. Because this is just, I'm just, oh man. Okay, and I'm going to pause you. Because you're not really producing, you're not really collecting berries. Oh, we've got an injured beaver. Oh, okay, so that was something we could put here. Which is the medical bed, although that's 80 science, so I really want to spend 80 science. Not really. Okay, so we're not going to. Okay. Man, I cannot believe we were this close to running out of water. That would have been so bad had I not put this pump in. Okay, so what that absolutely does mean, though, is we're going to need to venture probably to this one. No, this one, to collect all of the water that's here. Okay, so that means what we're going to need to do, let's see, we need to come down here. So here and there goes a stair. That rhymed. This is going to have to be a lumberjack here. But what I'm going to do is, let's see, let's get a pump. Let's put 2 pumps. Right, so let's do that. Okay. And then I'm only going to mark for cutting the specific trees that I need to be removed. So we'll do that. And then let's see if we bring a path down here that's going to connect directly to that staircase. Okay, perfect. So I do want to put a path in here just so that no trees populate in there. Let's see. So all of this needs to be highest possible priority of everything. So I'm just going to mark those 2 and then these 3. Perfect. Okay, so this I said wasn't going to work because what we now need to do, which isn't going to be fun in any sense of the word. Okay, so, okay. So what I need to do is go into developer mode so that we can see how much the strength is for each of these bad tide drains. But if I do that, then that's going to tell us when the bad tide drains will start working. So I'm not going to do that, and we'll just wait. I think we'll just wait. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do, though. This is going to have to come along here, plus 1 on the end. And I think because, you know what? Let's do it. We have enough science, right? Yes. Okay. All right. So let's come down here. Oh, too far. Here. Let's get this into close above contamination of 1%. Let's get you built quickly. And that's put in. Fantastic. I do want a beaver in here collecting berries. Oh, because that's going to be completely necessary. Okay, so work with me here, folks. What I want to do, this is going to have to be like this, right? And then we're going to have levees along this whole portion here, right? Excluding those. I do want those. Okay. So I just don't know if we're going to if there's going to be too much pressure coming out of here to go through this. And of course we don't have dynamite, so we can't blow those down. But, you know, it's just going to have to be how it is. It's just going to have to be how it is. And in an attempt to have them come at this from both ends, yeah, that's going to have to happen. And then I'm also going to have to put a staircase down here, which is not going to be fun, but it needs to happen. Because we're going to need to be able to put in all of the impermeable floors, which just needs to happen before our first bad tide. So hopefully that happens. You have nothing to do, which is perfect. Okay. All right. So we'll do something like that. There we go. Okay. So now you can work on cutting down all of these trees. All right. There we go. There we go. Okay. And I think we'll be nice and give you a little storage here. There we go. There we go. Let's do a large pile here. Set for logs. Build this as quickly as possible, please. Because we're definitely going to need a lot of logs down here. So let's see. Have we built? We have not. Okay. All right. 300. I'm just going to pause these for now. Because they won't be useful for the next 7 days. So let's see. If we do some quick math here, each beaver consumes 2 water per day. We've got, I'm going to say 25. So that's 50 per day. So 300 divided by 50 is what, 6? Yeah. Okay. So we do still have a little bit of water here. So, well, we've got that water and we've got this water. So we are totally fine. Yeah, these buildings are staffed as well. So that's perfect. Yeah, these trees. Oh, it looks like all of these trees are actually ready to be cut down. So I will do that momentarily. And I totally forgot to unpause the grill. So everybody is hungry. No bueno. But let's see. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so I'm going to pause the smelter as well. Because we've got enough metal to put in all of these impermeable floors. Oh, and I know I said I didn't want to, but I might just put a wall in here of levees. I might just. I mean, we don't really have the logs, but... Oh, I just need to pay attention to when this blows. And sort of pray that it happens during a drought. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. All right, so then what I do also want to do, I think we're going to need a water storage over here. Especially if we keep this. Yeah, which I'm kind of unsure if I want to keep these here. Or if I just want to have these sort of as an emergency type thing. So maybe what we do actually, put them over here. There we go. Right. Okay. So now what I need to do is, this, but here. And then that's going to be the end of this episode because we're already at 100. We're already at an hour and 15 minutes, which is way longer than I intended this episode to be. So yeah. But anyways, let's get started on this. Now that all of these trees are gone. So what I want to do, this is going to have to come all the way over here. Right, with these here as well. I'm gonna need beavers to come up to get these trees out so that we can get so that we can use that space, right? Because, let's see, this is gonna have to come over here, and then we're gonna need to do these, right? This is gonna have to come up. This is gonna have to be impermeables. So now we no longer have enough metal to do all that and all this, but I think that's fine. So let's see, let's get that collected. You know what, maybe what we do instead, since we're almost full on, let's see, so 30, 21, 50 plus 10, so 60. 70. We're about 17 away from being full. So maybe what I'm going to do is just wait until our gear storage is full. And then I'll pause the gear workshop, probably pause one lumber mill, and then get the smelter going again. Because we've got, let's see, 20. We've got 33 spaces available. Yeah, that'll be the plan. Okay, so what I do also want to do, I wanted to put those back in here so that we can get all of these out, and probably end up replacing them with oak trees. So you know what? I'm just going to plant oak. I'm just going to set all of that to be planted. Yeah. Okay, who has nothing to do? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think what I'm also going to do... You know what? Let's see. Let's bring this path over here and then get rid of this loopty path, right? So that it's a bit more direct. We are also totally fine with water. Totally fine with water. Okay. I also just realized now that we are so much farther than 15 away in gear production. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see. I do also want to get rid of that, and then I think I'm just gonna prioritize it. Have the builders do it. Because, you know, they've got absolutely nothing else to do instead. And let's finish this. So this is gonna have to come up here. Right. ideally, I think we'd rather have a top. Maybe. Right? Oh, not floodgate. Or I guess we could just have this come along here like this. Right? And then this is actually going to have to be one taller. So we'll do that. So that's going to be the height. And then what's going to need to happen? Yeah, we absolutely have to get beavers in here to build this as well. Okay, so this is going to have to be platforms. We'll do that. And that. Okay, so getting beavers up here. Okay, so this is going to be... This is going to come all the way up there. And then we'll just do something like this. Right, so that's going to be like that. That one there. I did way too many of these. So we'll do that. That's going to be like that. Okay. And like that. Okay. So then this will be here. And then all of these trees need to go. So I'm just going to mark the whole thing. Okay. Right. And then once this is all done, then we can finish. Oh, and look at that. Cycle 5. I didn't even think we finished the first cycle in my last series. But anyways, that's fine. I do think we're at the point we need a few more beavers, so I'm just going to put in 2 more houses here and get these set for construction. You only have a couple more trees to cut down, so that's fine. And this one needs a potato. There we go. Okay. We did not have enough potatoes to last. So, oh, we're just under 70 food. That is so much less than ideal. Okay, so this is going to have to be... Those 3 need to come back online. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I know you don't have anything. Okay, at least we have a couple berries coming in addition to the just under 30 so that we have in storage. Oh, brother. Okay. All right. That's not so much less than ideal. So much less than ideal. I do think I want to get rid of this lumberjack flag, though, and collect all those, because this is just going to be... Oh, boy. But they have started on this, which is good. I think, you know what? I think I want to have these put in, though. So we'll do that. I do want to have this put in as well. So we'll do that as well. Okay. Yeah, we've got a couple planks. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pause this gear workshop, because we ought to start, getting our storage of planks back up. So, yeah, that's fine. Let's see. This is going to use 8 gears, which it looks like they just took. It's going to take all of our planks and then some. So, we'll wait for that. That's fine. Let's see. These, they have started on. I think it might also. Well, how close are these trees? 46. No. Okay. These trees are going to go. And I'm going to set these to highest priority because, prioritize everything. You no longer have goods, so you can go. Okay. All right. So, now that we've got our colony pretty much self-sustaining, excluding the food part, I think we're good, right? So we've got a whole bunch of water. We've got crops planting. We are currently negative well-being because beavers are starving, but we're at least producing food, sort of. So that's good, sort of. Oh, hey, wait a second. I don't want you cutting these trees down. Well, I kind of do, but not really. Okay, so you can go collect those. Yeah, okay. All right. I think I'll end the episode. Since we're an hour and 27 minutes in, might as well. Yeah, might as well. All right. So, oh, we've got a bad tide. Oh, we've got a bad tide. Wait a second now. Wait a second. Oh, I want to go into dev mode and check on these so bad. We don't have any warnings for them, though. Although we wouldn't have any warnings if they were activated automatically. If they were, already activated. Oh, wait, this core is blinking. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Well, that is going to be something that future captain has to deal with because current captain is going to end the video like he said he would. So, oh boy. All right. Thank you all so very much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like I said, this is my second series. And of course on a brand new map. So just let me know how everything went, how you thought. And yeah, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you all. Bye-bye.